Good evening, my fellow exorcists, and welcome to the Lair of Filmaru. Tonight I will be reviewing Obi-Wan Kenobi Season 1. The Jedi Master contends with the consequences of his greatest defeat, the downfall and corruption of his one-time friend and apprentice Anakin Skywalker, who turned to the dark side as evil Sith Lord Darth Vader. Now, the story is a bit more than that. Obi-Wan has to watch over Luke, like we saw in A New Hope and at the end of Episode 3 and in Rebels. He's now being chased by Inquisitors. Darth Vader is on his tail because he's still pissed about Obi-Wan lighting him on fire or leaving him for dead on Mustafar. Most of Season 1 follows Obi-Wan trying to get Leia, a young Leia Organa, back to her adopted family. Because of this, we meet a lot of very interesting characters, like Kazi, the fake Jedi who helps the Path, which is essentially the Underground Railroad version for the Jedi. We learn that a lot of Legends characters are back. Due to certain Easter eggs, we learn that Corran Horn is back in canon. We learn Quinlan Vos is still alive and it is helping the Path. We learn that a bunch of other Legends Jedi are still technically canon now, thanks to the Easter eggs. And we watch as young Leia grows up. We watch her learn about her past, which gives more context to what she says to Luke in Episode 6. We see that at this age she's a lot more scrappy. She's not afraid to get into a fight. She's very energetic, and this season shows us the events that help turn Leia into the great senator and great general that we see her in the original trilogy. We also see a very broken Obi-Wan Kenobi, who, again, is still dealing with the events of Episode 3. He's still unable to contact Qui-Gon Jinn until, the ending of the series. And he's just constantly having nightmares, constantly dealing with PTSD from the loss of his friend and the loss of the entire Jedi Order. And just, the guy's having constant nightmares every night about the events. And it's his one shared connection with Darth Vader right now, who uses this fear to find him, and we see some of the best fights since Episode 3. Yes, Obi-Wan is a bit weak during the first two, but he, as soon as he realizes who he's fighting for, what he's fighting for, that he needs to come back and protect Leia, protect Luke, he needs to bring himself back to his former glory. Obi-Wan comes back, and I just 5 minutes ago watched the finale of the series, and just, my God, I missed watching Ewan McGregor on the screen as Obi-Wan, and I missed Hayden Christensen. I love Matt Lantern, but nothing can beat Hayden Christensen for me. Hearing his voice after his mask is cut off in the final episode, just the sound of both Vader and Anakin mixed is just, it destroyed me. It basically brought me to tears watching this, and watching the hurt on Obi-Wan's face as he's realizing
My friend is truly dead.
it wasn't my fault. I didn't kill him. It was Anakin who killed himself. It was Vader who took over and ended Anakin's reign. And it's only Vader who's taking over. I mean, at least until episode 6, and that's like a few years later, maybe a bit more, when Luke is able to return him. But now we see this is the point where Vader's realizing that Obi-Wan is still the master at this point, and this also gives context to their final fight in Episode 4, where Vader tells him, "Last time I fought you, I was but the learner, but now I am the master," and I can see that. Like, Obi-Wan was weak as hell during this, during the beginning, because he lost faith in the Force, he lost his will to use the Force, and essentially he's a weakling wielding a lightsaber half the time. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing until it comes to defending Luke and it comes to defending Leia, and he gains his strength back amazingly. Like, watching himself lift up all those rocks and just destroy Vader in the finale. Just, my God. And I will say, with this series, there are some ups and downs. Like, there is the much hated episode 4, where a lot of people are saying that it was a lot weaker because it's pretty much a dumb rehash of Episode 4's escape from the Death Star scenes. Dumb remake of it. Yeah, that was absolutely the weakest point in this series. I mean, I'm still sad to know that Master Sunube, Terra Sunube, is dead. But, yeah, I get why a lot of people don't like it. I mean, wholeheartedly, I like this series for what it was. Like, honestly, I definitely watch it again in the full 6-hour, maybe 7-hour format that it is. Like, this was a brilliant idea, and I'm glad that they didn't just turn it into a movie, because a movie wouldn't have done this justice. Watching this, the emotion that Ewan McGregor puts into Obi-Wan, just portraying him as a broken man, showing us the toll of Episode 3 and what it really did to Obi-Wan, how it destroyed him, how he thought that everything was his fault because he was the one that trained Anakin, and he thought he could have prevented all of this. But then we come to the revelation in the finale, and now Obi-Wan is set for Season 2, where we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, now he's got the guidance of Qui-Gon Jinn near the end. Reva is no more. Like, we learned her backstory a bit through our newest addition to the Order 66 timeline, where we see Anakin slaughtering younglings, very similar to Episode 3, but this series actually shows the deed for once. And we learn that there were some survivors from the Jedi Temple, and Reva was one of them. So, and now that she's been beaten and destroyed by Vader and come to her senses, I was gonna say she could have turned out to be just another dark Jedi, but honestly, we have no clue what's gonna happen to her now. I mean, I half expected them to do like an end credit scene, but obviously this isn't a Marvel series and they're not going to do that. Bravo for keeping any leaks for this series under wraps. Episode 4 definitely underwhelmed us and got us ready for the perfect ending. Like, episode 5 and 6 were just Vader being a badass and destroying Reva, destroying Obi-Wan. And if I remember correctly, I think it was a Screen Crush who mentioned that each episode has a very similar feel to the entire saga. Like, episode 1 takes place on the desert, watching over a boy. Episode 2 is the cityscape, similar to Coruscant and the Sam Wessel chase. Episode 3 is the big battle between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan. Episode 4 is essentially Episode 4 with the Death Star escape. Episode 5 is the attack on the PAF's headquarters and them trying to escape from Vader. Not to mention the battle between Reva and Vader, where Darth Vader schools Reva and completely destroys her in battle. And this one is essentially episode 6, where it kind of parallels the battle between Darth Vader and Luke, except during this one, Obi-Wan resolves to not kill Darth Vader despite having the chance and completely rewriting the entire timeline of Star Wars. And essentially he's showing humility here instead of killing his former friend. And I can definitely see it. Good on you, Screen Crush, for realizing this when most of us could not. But yeah, just this series was amazing, and I really can't wait to see what they do for season 2, and I can't wait to see what else they plan to do. Like, if the rest of the series that comes out, if Andor, Acolyte, Tales of the Jedi are as good as this, I think Star Wars is finally coming back, like, full circle. I think we're finally coming out of the dark ages that the sequel trilogy had put us in for a long time. But yeah, I'm definitely giving this a 10 out of 10 for my new favorite Star Wars series. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, click the little notification bell for more of our content. And stay tuned for the next Star Wars series. I believe that's Andor, and we'll definitely review that when it comes out. So, may the Force be with you, and have a great night.